Now that I've shown you a little bit of how to use the metric system, let me give you a couple of examples where you actually use it. Okay. Now, for these two examples I have on the screen here, I'm going to show you two simple ways to think about it. I'll show you one simple way to think about it, and then I will also show you the math to show that it does work. Okay. So the first one, convert 4,712,886 grams to kilograms. All right. So in this case, we have our base unit, and we want to go to a unit with a prefix. Kilograms. Kilo means, look at the table, kilo means 1,000. All right, so let me show you the shortcut way, and then I will show you the math way after that. Remember that kilo means 1,000, so you look for where the 1,000 happens. 4,712,000. So right here, that's where you're going to put your decimal point. 4,712,000. There's your decimal point. And so it turns into 4,712.886 kilograms. Okay, there's your shortcut method. That's when you're going from the base unit to a prefix unit. That will work for these larger than units. The units that are larger than the base unit. That's a better way of saying it. Let me show it to you with the math. This show that it actually works. So what we do is we take our 4,712,886 grams, multiply it by our desired unit, the kilogram, divided by our current unit, the gram. And there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So we have 1 on top, 1,000 on bottom, and the grams cancel out. You're left with 4,712.886 kilograms. Exactly what we said using our shortcut method. All right, let's go to the next one. Convert 53.6 gigameters to meters. Again, I'm going to show you the shortcut method, and then I'll show you the math. 53.6 gigameters to meters. So we're going from a prefix back to the base unit. In this case, replace the prefix with the number it represents. So giga means billion. Oh, let me try that one again. That didn't work so well. Let me highlight that like so. So giga is billion. This is the one we want to use. So 53.6 gigameters is 53.6 billion meters. All right. So 53.6 billion meters, you just take 53.6 times a billion, you end up with 53,600,000 million meters. Okay, let me show that to you with the math. Take our number, 53.6 gigameters, multiply it by a billion meters per 1 gigameter. Your units cancel out, and you're left with 53.6 times a billion, which is 53,600,000. I think I said that wrong earlier in the video. I apologize if I did. Should be 53,600,000,000 meters. There we go. That's the right way to say it. 53,600,000,000 meters. So, however I said it earlier, I apologize. That was a mistake. All right. That's how to go from the base unit to a large prefix and from a large prefix back to a base unit. Now let's go to these two examples where we go from a base unit to a small prefix and from a small prefix back to the base unit. Let's convert 25.7 liters to milliliters. All right, so we know that milli is 1,000th of the base unit. All right, so we take 25.7 liters, multiply it by the desired unit, milliliters, divide by the unit we currently have, which is liters. So it's 25.7 times 1,000 milliliters divided by 1 liter. That gives you 25,700 milliliters. Okay, this other one, we're going from a small prefix back to the base unit. Actually, no, we're not. We're going from, I apologize. I didn't read it. I should read it first. Convert 650 centigrams to kilograms. Now, there are two ways to do this. We can go from a small unit back to the base unit, and then from the base unit to a large unit, or we can combine them into one step. Let me do it 2 steps first, and then I'll show it to you combined. All right? So we're going to go from centigrams to grams, and then from grams to kilograms. We're going to do this in 2 steps. So we're going to start off with 650 centigrams, go to the gram. 1 gram is 100 centigrams. So we're dividing by 100 in this case. 650 divided by 100 would be 6.5. So 650 centigrams is 6.5 grams. Now to go to kilograms, we do the same thing. We could go from grams to kilograms. So we start with 6.5 grams, which is what we just got. Multiply by 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams. The grams cancel out. 6.5 divided by 1,000 gives you 0.00650 kilograms. All right, now how can we make this easier? Well, we can just ignore that middle step and we can go from centigrams to grams. Instead of calculating it here, we can go directly from grams to kilograms. So then we take 650, we divide it by 100, and then we divide it by 1,000, and you get exactly the same number. Kind of a cute little trick there. Why am I having you go through all of this practice with the metric system? Because as we go through the course, you're going to see these metric prefixes. I need you to understand what they mean. In other words, I need you to know this table. If I talk about a hectopascal, you need to know that hecto means 100. 1 hectopascal is 100 pascals. We're going to talk about height in kilometers. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. We're going to talk about wavelengths of light in nanometers. A nanometer means 1 billion, 1 billionth. So 1 billion nanometers is in 1 full meter. So when we come across those prefixes, I need you to understand what those prefixes mean. And that's why I have you doing this. So practice with this a little bit. And now let's carry on with our material from chapter 1.